Kiko, welcome back to the show, brother. Lovely having you.
Honor and a privilege to be back.
Yeah, man. This is episode number 31, and this is Kiko's second appearance, technically third appearance, because the first time I messed up the audio a bit. But yeah, it's lovely having you here. I know you just got back from London. How was your trip there?
It was crazy. Really good to see all the team. We went and played paintball, and it was just a great experience.
Who were you there?
I was there with Charlie, Bo, a bunch of the guys that I work with as well. And yeah, it's just great. Getting to see people in person, build those authentic relationships is second to none, you know.
Yeah.
So it's really important in a team to build that culture together in person. Yeah.
And I heard you was a quick trip, not really something you wanted to spend time with in London.
Proper South African boy we got over here.
Yeah. I mean, we back here where we filmed the first podcast, and it's just good to be home as well. It wasn't a very long trip. It was almost like just a weekend in the UK, which I'm very, very grateful for. It was an absolute treat. So I think everyone should go and travel as much as humanly possible. Yeah, but we live in the best place, so I always come home.
Yeah, that's a similar theme to last podcast as well. You know, it's like I really enjoy the beauty of this country, and being able to have that contrast of going out and traveling and seeing those things. You know, I think the main thing that I took away from those trips was the gratitude that I have for the things that I already have here, right? And for your own environment, and to build the business, and to get to work, and to dial in, and you know where your raw milk and the steak is, and where the gym is at. So
you're speaking truth right now. Let me tell you, just having that, like, the absolute quality that we've got out here is something we shouldn't take for granted, because anywhere you go, it's going to be twice as expensive, and it's going to be half the quality.
I was about to say,
yeah.
We are also in one of the best estates in the world right now. We should definitely talk about that.
It is the number one estate in the world.
I think it's like top 2. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
If you go on Google and you type in best estate in the world, it's Val de Vie and Stein City. Stein City is in Johannesburg.
Yeah.
What? Are you serious?
Yeah.
What in the world, those two? That's insane.
Maybe it's biased because I'm from South Africa. But what would you say is, like, obviously the prices and stuff like that, but what's your main reason you like South Africa so much? Or maybe just Western Cape in general?
Yeah, great question. I think growing up in South Africa, it's like a different culture. It's something that you can't even explain. Like, I think the best way to sum it up would just be gees. Yeah. I think every person that joins a business, they're from South Africa, they bring an energy which is just enthusiastic, keen to graft, and just being surrounded by people like that all over the country is so awesome. Like, walk into the shop, hello brother, hello sister, like, how are you going? And it's almost like you know these people all your life, you know. And I just absolutely love that, because if you go anywhere else in the world, it's very much like a transactional relationship where it's just like, cool, get out of here. So that's one thing. And then whether just having the freedom to roam and go crazy, kick the rugby ball, just act like you're still young. Something I believe in is never let the old man in, because then you get old, you get frail, and you just sit in your house all day. So yeah, that's two of the main things, you know.
Amazing, man. I think we should probably just pre-frame the pod a bit by just giving some context as to what you actually do for a living. So we spoke about the trip and you went there, but for those that don't know and maybe haven't watched the first one, what do you do specifically for work?
I think it's important to start off with what I did, because I think that sets a good pre-frame for what is actually achievable. So when I first left school, the first thing I did, which I got shouted at for, was buy a camera, because I truly believe if you've got a camera and you've got a computer,
same thing as me,
then you've got no excuses. Like, you cannot have an excuse, because so many people have gone out there and done it before. So I ran around and I've taken thousands of pictures, videos, offering any service in that kind of creative space. And fortunately, I'm sure you will get James Simons on the podcast very soon, because he's one of the guys who gave me one of the best opportunities of my life, to get into the online space and video editing. And I think the main thing at that point was just scalability, because you know, as a camera operator, you can't be there doing shoots every single day and editing and this and that. So I just thought, what's the most scalable scalable way to utilize my time here? And that was just getting into the online space and getting your foot in the door. So James introduced me to Charlie, and I've been working with Charlie for probably like 4 years now. And the the culture, the team, everything within that business is second to none. It's not something I want to walk away from, and just building with people who you absolutely enjoy spending time with, like amazing. You guys, we were chatting about it this morning, like the whole Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett thing. Like it's second to none having that team. So yeah, that's what I'm doing at the moment now. I've walked into that and pretty much taken over the whole kind of creative side. I think if any South African wants to get involved in the online business space, two things that they need to make sure they walk into any business with is loyalty and enthusiasm. Now, that's if you want to get into the kind of job space. If you want to build your own agency and stuff, buy a course. That's kind of what I'm up to now.
That's amazing, bro. That's insane, because I think we followed very similar journeys. Essentially most of my success in the production game came also from one guy giving me an opportunity, and essentially doing some work and then actually having to now, exchange some value here, right? Like when James gave you that opportunity, you obviously had to, show Charlie you're worth the time, right? Or the money. So you obviously have to build up a certain skill. But I think, especially when you're new to the game, I think exposing yourself to more opportunities, which is probably just exposing yourself to more people that has a broader network or whatever, is one part, and then actually having a skill to then, follow through on the opportunity, like that is the two main things, right? And in the beginning of when I started production thing, there was some months also where didn't really get any traction or whatever, and then you got that one opportunity and all the work came from that one thing. Because that one testimonial led to one other guy, led to him, and that was just because I got exposed to a broader network. I think networks is a very big thing.
If I can touch on that for 1 second, because I think it's very important for young South Africans to understand this. If you get given an opportunity, don't sleep until they've got 110% the value.
So much.
Because when I got that opportunity, I was up till 2 a.m. working every night. I was like sleep deprived. I looked like shit. but
you felt like shit.
But I'd show up every day enthusiastic as all hell. And that's something you've got to remember, because no matter what, either it's going to be now or it's going to be a few years down the line when you're 30 plus, fat, bald with a red BMW. You can either cuck off now, which for the other viewers means like eat dirt now and push through the hard kind of moments. Otherwise, inevitably 10 years down the line, you're going to go through it anyway. So why not just face the truth and work hard whilst you still got the opportunity to do it while you're young?
It's always like you can either face pain now or later. It's basically the same thing. You're always going to face pain and peace, right? And I would like to argue that peace now isn't really even peace. Because like people are maybe instant gratification and doing all this stuff like right now, enjoying the moment. Obviously, there's time and place for that, but enjoying it fully and not looking at the future, like that's not even, it's like procrastination. At the time, it doesn't even feel that nice even. So I would rather take the pain now and then the comfort of making sure my family is set in the future.
But like, also that could be like ignorant bliss, right? Because you don't know the consequences of your lack of action yet, right? It's like, both situations has suffering. The suffering of inaction leads to maybe like if we just take health or fitness for example, it's tough to hit the gym, but it's tough to be fat. It's tough to be it's tough to be out of shape. And so I think in both cases, this is actually something that I read from Carnival Aurelius. So he posts some stuff on Twitter. He's actually the only guy that I read on Twitter. Main thing he said in there, right? He's a very big health guy, and so he's all about health. And he says health, wealth, all these things are irrelevant without peace of mind. Because even if you have health or if you have wealth, but you don't have the peace of mind to go and be impaired with that, it's almost irrelevant. Because then you'll always want more, be better, be stronger, be completely obsessed with health. Like that is also unhealthy, right? The obsession of health is unhealthy. And so I think having peace of mind in the midst of taking action, then you almost remove the suffering, because then it's just responsibility. And that doesn't need to be suffering. If you change your framework on that, it's like what I'm doing on a day-to-day basis now was back in the day in a form of suffering for me. But now it's a form of just responsibility, right? I almost enjoy what I'm doing now. Because I have that peace of mind knowing that it's sort of my purpose, I'm passionate about it, I've got a long-term vision for this thing, I'm building something that I enjoy. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
So if you enjoy this conversation and you relate with the health and wealth aspect, and you know both of these are very important when it comes to scaling a business or just as an entrepreneur in general, top link in the description if you want a more personalized approach, to scaling your business or in the health aspect as well. And also in the description is access to our free community where we've got 20 hours of content that you can just consume.
100%. If you enjoy this conversation, share it to a friend. Maybe think about subscribing, put the notifications on. It helps this channel a lot. And by doing so, we can get some more interesting guests like this. So let's get back to the video.
Talk about consistency. Like, this is almost, I think, 399, the 399th videos you guys have posted.
Crazy.
And just looking forward, like a few years down the line, we've talked so much about where you guys want to see School of Athens and all of this stuff. So if you can, touch on that a little bit.
Like the future of the brand.
Yeah, 5-10 years on.
So I don't really like to look too far ahead in the future, maybe like 1 to 2 years, because especially with technology and how fast things are changing, you need to be able to adapt. That's one of the biggest things, especially now with South Africans as well. It's like, people obviously love the South African talent. The conversion rate is great. If you can earn in dollars, like that is the best opportunity right now. So you need to adapt to the circumstances. Just in general, obviously the School of Athens is more the umbrella brand. And under that, we're going to be building, obviously got the info product, founders acquisition, maybe some merch in the future, some physical stores like gyms maybe. But that's more actually long term, like 3 to 5 years. But further than that, I don't really know. You never know what happens.
What it can turn into.
Exactly.
As well.
I think the main thing, right, as long as we stay true to the underlying mission statement, which is to live the life of a good man, essentially, that's sort of what it comes down to. And then having active discourse, like on our journey towards whatever that might mean, right? So what I'm just saying as well with like, you need to adapt. It's like, well, whatever living life of a good man might mean in 10 years from now, we'll have to adapt to that. And I think the beauty of this podcast or interviewing interesting people or building a community or whatever, it's active people that believe in the same sort of vision and has discourse or conversations about this topic, right? So we obviously believe you need to be financially independent, you need to be able to take care of yourself and then extend that to your family and then hopefully your community around you, right? And so the beauty of South Africa is something I want to cultivate and I want to see it flourish. I love South Africa. And so I think predominantly what we're trying to do here is uplift the young South Africans, to give them some hope and to sort of bring some knowledge from interesting people like yourself, right? So to interview people, to bring that forth. So but obviously health, wealth, like Andrew said, physical products. I think a fitness center will be pretty cool.
We talk about that.
Like that's probably like a main thing. As you can see, Andrew is like this jacked guy, right? Like I'm also super into health, so like that's a main thing for us. It's probably the fitness thing.
Sick. I love that answer. And on that note, I know you mentioned like financial independence. If you were completely dead broke right now and you're like absolutely poked, looking for a job in a sense, what would you do if you were kind of looking to get on the online space?
I mean, I think we should be asking you.
Sure.
But it's a good question. You can answer.
Okay, so when I was, obviously that's mainly our people we are serving, right, with the podcast and the YouTube and stuff like that. So the first thing really is to see what people want, like what's the demand, what are people looking for, what are people actively paying for. And at the moment, that's more, the content space is massive. Everyone's, running a podcast. Everyone's looking to start a podcast. And maybe if you can do like a podcast agency or something like that, helping them. I know people in India making $80,000 a month with their podcast agency. In India, bro. That's like 4 million rand.
You have no excuse, bro. You have no excuse.
Yeah. And this guy's like in his teens still, or like 20. So look at what is added in demand. And also AI is also big. Massive. It's still extremely early, so if you can do like a AI automation agency or something like that, just reach out to business owners. That's probably the best thing I do. And obviously work with US people, getting paid in dollars and spending rand. That's I
think like the main thing is, right, you want to make sure that the vehicle that you are investing in and trying to make your money through is a good vehicle. And so the two things that Andrew touched based on there is like online business and then making money from the US and then living in South Africa. Like that's the main thing. And so I think before you can really analyze like what's in demand and what's working or whatever, or expose yourself to opportunities, you first need to get surrounded by people, because you might be ignorant to the entire AI space. You might not even know podcast is booming because you're not even aware of that entire paradigm. And so that's why I think getting exposed to people that is in that space is massive. But I think the online space specifically is something you need to focus on. And it's very early. And so if you can get into groups, like, it's a free plug, but it's value. Like, that's why we're building it. Like, Founders Acquisition is exactly for that, right? So it's full of people that wants to make money online. And so then when you get exposed to that, then what Andrew said comes into play. Then you start to see, okay, what do people want, you know? Do they want more leads? Do they want more ads? Or they're all doing content. So they might be content clipping agencies. And then you start to see, you know, what people do need. And then you can start seeing, okay, what skills do I have? Or maybe I just, you know, learn a skill in 20 hours, like Andrew always says. So, I think exposure like that is important. But that's very similar to what your journey is, right?
Yeah.
Like, you met a guy.
Yeah, well, you have to provide some form of value. Like, you cannot just, as a South African, especially right now, in this turbulent time that we face, be sitting on your hands doing nothing, offering no value. You'd be crazy to sit there and just be completely useless to the world. And unfortunately, so many people are at the moment. Like, and we can blame the economy, we can blame everything, but at the end of the day, if people have done it from zero, what is the excuse, you know?
Yeah.
So I think, you're so right. You have to get around these people, expand your mind to the fact that you can do this from anywhere in the world. If you want, the main kind of barrier to entry in like for South Africans, for third worlders, is, oh, well, I don't know how to get paid. Well, there's so many different ways now. Like, Andrew made a plan, he went and he made a mission.
I figured it out myself. Like, I didn't know help me in that aspect. Obviously, I mean, YouTube videos and stuff, but I had to figure out, like, okay, how am I actually going to use Stripe and all this stuff?
Exactly.
You know, it's crazy. Like Kiko is working for Charlie Morgan, who was Andrew's first mentor. So that's pretty cool.
And that's actually was that the first time we met in person?
Yes,
in our first podcast or interview.
Oh yeah, you interviewed him for.
Yes.
Wow.
Well, the first time I met you, you were at Mug and Bean.
No way.
I met you. I was like, bro, so it's in like South Africa. It's just down the road in Durbanville. You were in Stellies at the time at the Mug and Bean there. I was like, okay, well, let me go pop in. And the folks just frantically operate in there, like sending emails and
yeah, bro, because your boss is telling him, bro, take action, send emails, bro.
You must be one of the quickest success stories as well. You got like the return on your investment, I think it was like 2 months?
Within 3 months, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely insane. And that's just raw consistency and flat out effort, which is crazy.
And it was from zero as well.
Bro,
Like, I went into debt for that mentorship.
And put it in perspective, like we previously mentioned in the first podcast as well, I think the product was at that time, it was 10K US. 10K US, bro, and you was 19, how old were you? Not 19, you were 20. 20 years old, and he had to put down 10K US. Think about that for a second. No business, the exact same fear and doubt that you're going through right now, that you're experiencing, that what you are experiencing right now, that is the fucking paradigm you have to work through. Like, that is entrepreneurship, and it consistently feels like that. You just get more results later down the line that reinforces the version of yourself that you're trying to achieve, and then that doubt and fear slowly but surely sort of removes itself. But you have to take action through that, right? So it's not like it just happens. You still have to take that leap of faith, and then you make it work while you're fucking building it, right?
Absolutely.
You have like, what's your take on like faith in entrepreneurship?
It's the only thing. Like, if you don't have faith in yourself, like, who's gonna have faith in you? You know, you've got to wake up and actually have a vision. I think that's one thing. You went through the mindset section of Easy Grow, and that's a huge part of it, because you create this vision of your life, these documents that you kind of go over every day and whatnot, and that is what gives you the faith that this is what I'm going to become. So if this is my output, let me put in the inputs, because I know those now. And that's the beautiful thing. It makes it a lot easier. So obviously you have faith in yourself, but also G-money as well.
Big man upstairs.
Exactly. You have to.
There's also just so much that you can do, right? It's like when you're checking the boxes, taking action, doing the outreach, and you still don't see results, well, then you're going to have to start believing in something bigger than yourself, right?
Exactly.
Like, so it's inevitable.
Sorry, just to interrupt, but in those moments when you're in entrepreneurship, you realize there's no one else to turn to other than to look upwards, you know? That's when they say there's no atheists in the trenches. You've got to actually like...
That is like, so true, bro.
When you're really facing the fire and you're overdue and you've got people to pay and whatever, like, then it's like, okay, shit, I got some help.
One thing I think would resonate maybe with some people is that like that vision was planted in your heart for a reason. Like you can literally see and taste it and feel it, and if that's in there, it's like it's 100% going to happen. So you just need to zoom out. Like the outcome is guaranteed. Like that is guaranteed. So whatever you're going through right now, the ups and downs, that's totally fine. Like it shouldn't bother you whatsoever, because you know what's the outcome.
Bro, that's amazing. I love that. I wrote an essay recently about that exact same thing, right? It's like that voice that I was talking about, or your intuition, or it's the Lord speaking to you, however you want to look at it, right? It's that voice gets louder late at night when you're alone in your room. When you're laying in bed after you did all the shit work you didn't want to do, and whatever, you might have ate McDonald's or something, and you're disaligned with your goals. Then that voice gets louder at night, and I like to think that's like your ideal self. That's like the best version of yourself, sort of whispering from the future. It's like, bro, you can do this, right? And like that is the thing. And I think chasing that with everything you have is all you got, right? Like, well, what are you going to do for the rest of your life? Work in the thing you're doing right now. Being a real estate, like I was in the real estate game. Be a real estate agent. Like if that's what you want to do and that's your calling, then that's fine. But I knew it was disaligned with what I wanted to do. And so I had to get out there, but it was doubt, it was fearful, it was tough, bro. Mm-hmm. And so coming back to, for example, you spending time with Charlie and being surrounded by amazing guys, right? Like it's fantastic guys. What do you think is one thing that sets them apart, especially between Charlie and Bo? I'd like to get into their relationship.
And also like that, and also what separates them from the average civilian, like Sam talks about.
Yeah.
Average civilian, the normie.
Well, one thing I truly believe is that you are who you compare yourself to as well. So if you're just comparing yourself to the average lazy guy who doesn't really achieve much, doesn't really have a problem or a plan, then that's all you're going to achieve as well. But when you're hanging around people who are way above you, these people are levels like to the nth degree.
You're playing a different game, bro.
Exactly. Now, that is what really expands your mind, because now you're like, okay, well, humble yourself. Firstly, like you don't know everything, obviously. So hold your back, as we say in South Africa. And literally, like you should listen to these people, and I think with those two, Bo is like he's our age, but he is just wise beyond measure. He's like our age, but he's like 55 years old in the mind.
Wow.
And I've taken so much, and I've learned so much from him. Just the way he handles life, the way he's very humble. He's never out there in the front lines and stuff. And
he's a normal boyki.
Exactly. He just gets shit done. He is operating all the time. He's always online, and same with Charlie. He has just done so much, and he's allowed so many people, like we were saying earlier, to when you're a good man, you sort yourself out independence wise, but you overflow so much. And that is what makes a great man in my eyes. Because once you stop living for yourself and a little selfish life, you can start overflowing. And those men are just super abundant. It's amazing. I've been with them for such a long time now, and just to see how they've grown, it's insane.
Do you think from that start, do you think you can be like abundant from the start, or do you think like it's something you need to first almost be selfish for like maybe 1 to 2 years before you can be like abundant, or do you think you can start abundantly and then therefore make more money, if you know what I mean?
That's a great question. I think honestly, from my humble opinion, you have to be ruthlessly selfish and all in on yourself at the beginning if you want to be able to be abundant and overflow for people. Because what are you going to achieve if you're running around fetching your sister, doing this, everyone else is
taking the trash out?
Like you're everyone's lapdog, but you're not focused on yourself. So what does that mean? You're not going to focus on yourself for long extended periods of time. You're not going to cut off people who are being useless in your life. You're not going to do so many things that'll push you like miles ahead. Now, that gets to a certain point where it kind of flips, and now you achieve your success through helping other people. It's always like that. Someone said, I once helped a man climb to the top of the mountain, and I too found myself at the top. Like you have to, at the end of the day, there's been no one getting rich through just being a selfish idiot. You have to help.
Wolf doesn't work.
It doesn't help.
In the beginning, like you need to be just like ruthless, basically, almost a dick in a sense. But after that, then you can say, okay, calm down a bit.
Exactly. If I can just say one more thing, abundance isn't. Someone told me this a while ago. Wealth is in the mind, not in the pocket. So you've. I can't even tell you. Like both of you guys have read hundreds of books, and like that has shaped your mind and the way you look at the world. I've read so many books, like The Science of Getting Rich, Think and Grow Rich, blah blah blah. All these kind of books in that sense. But that is just training your mind to see the world differently. Like the magic of thinking big.
Reality transferring is massive as well. I need to read that again.
Yeah, absolutely. I need to read it the first time. But like these books are what changes the way you view the world, and that's what really makes the changes.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think like the main thing that comes down to, and also that ties back into what you talk about, Charlie and Bo, right? It's like it's focus and ruthless action on the things that matter, that you're focusing on. And I think especially in the beginning as well, it's like I think you need to operate out of a place of abundance, right? Because you need to sort of believe that it's possible for you to achieve it. So you need to sort of believe like, oh, it's inevitable, I'm gonna make it work, right? But your physical reality also needs to catch up before you can start helping others. But I also think like a tipping point comes when you start sacrificing things that you later down the line see, okay, maybe I shouldn't have sacrificed that, and then you can work back and be like, okay, when you take everything, because you need to become a new man. So like, when you're on your current self and you want to become the successful business owner, well, you're not a successful business owner. So you need to craft this person. Yeah. And so then you start killing off everything that's not that. And so maybe that might be current friends, maybe some relationships with some people, that might even be family members or whatever. But later down the line, maybe 6 months later, you might come closer to that ideal self, but then you realize, okay, no, but there is some value in this friendship. Or wait, no, maybe I should be, cultivating more time with family members or whatever. And then you start realigning and making sure that what you are valuing is actually worth the value that you're putting behind it, right? But it's so important. It's like, I think, what do you call it? Like Mother Teresa or whatever. What's it like?
Mother Teresa.
Mother Teresa. she's like, if you wanna first like help the world, you must first first clean your own porch before you start taking care of other people, right? So you need to be, and you said it so beautifully. It's like you need to first be full before you can start pouring out to others. And so I think it's so true. You need to focus on yourself. It doesn't mean you need to always necessarily be a dick. I think I was a dick for, I think we all were. I think I did as well. But like, I don't necessarily think you like. I regret that to a degree. It's easy to say that in hindsight when you've sort of achieved what you wanted to. So maybe it was necessary.
Yeah,
and I'm ignorant
got
to
a
the
different
opposite.
take on that. Yeah, like I think it's totally fine.
It's necessary.
In the future, people also tend to forget the negatives. It kind of fades in the background. Like when you think back, it's like mostly fond memories. So people tend to forget that, and I think you need to be kind of ruthless in the beginning. You need to. It's just part of it. But don't be like, it's a fine line.
Yeah, I think how you convey it, right? Because like I think you need to be selfish with your time. That doesn't have to be a dick, like, right? Like if someone asks you to go to a party, it's like, no, I can't go. You're not gonna be like, no, fuck calendar. You, I'm working. Like,
no, what did Alex say? This is my calendar.
Bro.
Well, I need to actually tell the entire story to put into context. So someone asked Alex like, yo, I see you in town. Want to go for a coffee or a drink or whatever? And then Alex is like, oh no, I've got nothing planned on Saturday or whatever. And it's like, oh, perfect. And Alex, and then the guy said, oh, so should we go out? He's like, no, I want to spend time with Layla or whatever. And he showed them his calendar and it was empty, like nothing booked. And he says, I want to keep it that way to the guy.
I like that.
And that's like,
the ruthlessness factor. It's
that's
like,
the definition of what we're talking about right now. It's like, it's focus and being selfish with whatever you want to do, right? It's like, people are going to want your attention and they're going to want to spend time, but you also need to have some clarity and be like, I'm focusing on my business, and now this time I want to spend with my wife. I'm going to have to say no here, and I'm going to have to stand on business here. And that doesn't have to be like, you don't have to say it in a dick way, and if he takes it up that way, well, then it might just be on him, right? So
such as life. I think one other thing is, I don't think many people have great self-esteem. A lot of people,
especially South African.
Especially South Africa, a lot of limiting beliefs, a lot of negative self-talk, and I don't think they think that they can't work their self out of like a wet paper bag. They don't realize that you can do anything. I think reality transferring, that kind of book is that like you can form any life that you've got. You just have to sit down for a few days and write it out. Otherwise, where you just sailing aimlessly, you can't. You have to begin with the end in mind.
And then reverse.
I love that. That is pure wisdom that you're speaking about.
I mean, so many people are just going aimlessly and this is the problem though. They've listened to their parents their entire life. They've never thought for themselves, like, what do I actually want here? What do I feel is right? It's not just like that. That's the real problem, because it's just like, go do this. Your parents, teachers, priests, everyone. But you never say, what do I actually want?
Yeah, the teachers tell you. We can actually pivot more into maybe like the school system and stuff like that now. It's like they never give you time to think, and they also don't give you the chance to think. It's like, do this at this time, you know? But when you work for yourself, or it's like you are now entrepreneur or self-employed, it's like you need to tell yourself what you need to do every single minute of the day. Like, and it's like a skill you need to learn, because every single time in school, since you were like, and even in university, they say, okay, its due date is this time, you need to read these pages and do these things, and it needs to be in, whatever. But when you're an entrepreneur, it's like, you can do outreach at 2 a.m. in the morning. It's just like, so you need to build structure now, because the entire day is 24 hours. Like, okay, when do I eat the gym? Okay, this time, and then I eat this time.
I think definitely the school system isn't optimized for entrepreneurs. It's optimized for people that will work for entrepreneurs one day, right? Like, that's essentially why it started with the Prussian system or whatever. Like, I'm not too familiar with that, but I did watch Iman's event. So that's the furthest of my knowledge stretches with that. But, so I think especially if you didn't really vibe with the schooling system, or maybe you just wired differently, and that's fine. And I think there might be a lot of limiting beliefs that came from being in a paradigm of a schooling system and failing all your grades, or just having this idea that education and learning is terrible and suffering, and it's homework and you just don't like it. Like, everything changed for me when I started learning and reading and going through things that educated me in a domain that I found interesting, because then you start to see, okay, wisdom and knowledge is everything. The only reason why we can do what we do is because we know a certain bit of knowledge that some other people just don't. And like, if other people knew that, and then they knew that just by having discipline and taking action for 2 years, you could be in the exact same situation, if not better. So I think knowledge is everything. Right?
I've got a huge issue with the schooling system. They hate me, I hate them. Like that. It's let's just agree to disagree. Like, when I was in school, I was sitting at the back of class, reading books, trading stocks, like doing everything but listening to the teacher, who I didn't have any desire to be like. Like, I had such a bone to pick with them. And I think now if you look around, like, a lot of those guys who are like, Kian, you're a conspiracy theorist, just listen to the teacher, shut up and obey, now look at what they've got to show for themselves. Like, absolutely nothing. And that is a huge majority of the people that I went to school with. Like, the entire structure is backwards. They're not empowering people to think for themselves and really go out there and take the world by the balls. They're just getting these slaves with no charisma, no
skills,
fire in their eyes. You know what I mean? They just go there, do this, and go home.
That's
why
why
I wouldn't be able to live like that. It's like you're spiritually dead.
You're spiritually dead. I felt dead when I walked into the place. And they know it
that's
all
why
too well.
the beauty of a good teacher also changed my life, right? Like, because you're obviously forced to go through school, and so when you cross paths with a good teacher, that's someone that doesn't just guide you through the fucking modules or the fucking papers, right? Like, I had a biology teacher that I'll never forget. I mean, I don't know if you remember him. He was my favorite teacher, but he taught me so much about life just in general. And so he was teaching me biology, but it was more than that. Like, because he knew I didn't want to do this shit, right? I just had it because it was one of my classes I had to do. But like, he would always incorporate a macro level of where this comes into play, and he always made it exciting for me to go through it. And so I think also when you are placed in a situation like that, like, you're gonna go through school, so try and look at the best parts about that. But I don't actually know where I was going with that. It's just like the value of a good teacher is amazing.
It's insane. I remember, like, when I was 15, my brother passed away and he was 16, and I was just lost. Like, everything was just numb. I was like nowhere near the type of person I was anymore, and all I was looking for was just some guidance, And shout out to Robbie Young. He just took me under his wing, and he was like,
a teacher.
Yeah, teacher from the school. He took me under his wing and he was like, Kim, we're gonna figure this out. Like, already I knew I was already the type of person who was like, screw the school system, this isn't going to help me at all. My parents don't even have money to send me to college afterwards, so why should I listen to yokes? So I was very focused. Like, I was working in a restaurant when I was 15 and stuff, and this guy was just like, Kian, let's figure out who you are, what you want to achieve, because it doesn't sound like you like school very much. Took me under his wing. We did aptitude tests. We did like as many tests as you can.
Like
personality tests, and
TNGI,
it just
TING, whatever.
I think like that completely changed my life, because it just gave me so much confidence that I knew myself, I knew who I am, and that's the importance of having a good teacher who really cares about you.
And
mentorship.
Mentorships are invaluable, and everyone can be your mentor. Life can be your mentor. Like, you've just got to be very perceptive of what you want to instill in yourself and what you.
That's beautiful, man. Like, you spoke about or you touched about the importance of reading. So, I mean, in the beginning, like, we speak about mentorship and 10K for a fucking program or whatever. It's like, in the beginning, you might not have that. Well, my mentors were like finding my books.
I didn't
right?
have that.
Yeah,
I threw myself in the deep end. Like,
so,
okay, let's swim.
So, but like, you know, reading books, right? Like, Marcus Aurelius was my mentor. You know, I had like mentors that were dead, you know, that I read from in the books. And the beauty of mentorship comes down to, they teach you things that you didn't even know the question to ask them yet, right? It's a completely different paradigm you get exposed to, a completely different set of ideas. And it's in the midst of those ideas where your life changes. Because if you didn't know it was possible to make money online through an agency model when you are 19, you will never pursue that in the first place. But now when you get exposure to that, now maybe you see people doing it, making good money, working online, you know, like, you're getting exposed to these paradigms, and that is what will completely alter the trajectory of your life. But you only do that through exposure, through mentorship, through networking, through reading, and it's invaluable. Knowledge is everything.
Yeah. And
I think to today's day and age, especially with the schooling system, it's almost like I don't know. It's a weird paradigm. People don't like studying.
That's
for someone.
Yeah, that is a very. I think it's a very on purpose thing, if you can say it, because they make you hate learning because they do it in their way, where it's simply just read this, regurgitate it onto a page. You don't actually remember anything, but you have to do it because you got to pass the test. Whereas true learning is going deep into things, and you want to like get the knowledge. It's invaluable, and I think it's done on purpose. They don't want people who are seeking truth, and they don't want people who are going to question every single thing that they say, which I say question everything. If you can't give me a valid reason why I should believe that, well, then you can keep your opinion, type of thing.
It was like an amazing quote from Jim Rohn. He said, education will make you a living, and self-education will make you a fortune. Yeah. So like and even Albert Einstein said that the only thing that gets in between me and my learning is my education.
What the fuck? Who said that?
Albert Einstein.
No way.
So even he was against the school system. He was out there like,
come on, if he was against
doing EMC square in the background.
He's the guy who created your fucking modules, bro. Literally.
Yeah,
that the guy who said if you push something it moves.
Deep wisdom.
Crazy, bro. Pivoting back to your trip to London, meeting up with Charlie Morgan and Bo and them, what would you say, like, you know, when you're surrounded by them, okay, maybe it was a bit more like vacation vibes, right? But they obviously operate on a different level. So you previously spoke about focus and ruthless action taking, right? We obviously don't know to what extent you're talking about. You know, like you're saying, he's on his phone, he's always online. What does that even look like? You know, is he working the whole day?
Oh, yeah, people don't realize how hard people actually work.
Yeah, because
that's the thing.
We
say, work hard, and then you compare it to, compare it to what you think is hard work, like 2 hours a day maybe, and then they just do like,
That's a good way. Break it sort of down, like on a normal day today. Obviously, it was vacation, so it was a bit different. But sort of, how does he operate?
Yeah, I think like with them, they're always the first one in and the last one out. If you need them at any time, they're there. They're putting in the most work. And from a leader, I've tried being a leader that pushes people. These people pull you along. They say, we are going there, and they've got a clear vision.
Okay, wow.
They say, guys, get in line, and we're gonna achieve this. The entire
feel
thing.
compelled.
Exactly. You feel like, okay, awesome. Well, here's the goal, here's the vision. Let's go for it, and let's work as hard as humanly possible because it's something that everyone buys into. And they've been very conscious about taking into account everyone's goals, everyone's kind of vision for their life as well. And because that they have created such an amazing life for themselves, the stress is another thing. But because they've really achieved what they've wanted to in a monetary sense, now they're like, okay guys, well, what do you guys want to achieve as well? And they're giving people the opportunity to achieve their goals through the business as well, which is truly amazing. And I think the leadership that they show is second to none, because they're not treating you like just some worker droid as well. They're treating you almost as though you're a partner, and your input is very valuable.
How do they go about figuring out like other people's goals and sort of aligning that to theirs? Like do they have a lot of one-on-one calls with people?
So it's a great question. So they, at the beginning of the year and throughout the year as well, have many one-on-ones with you, but at the same time, in a group setting, usually we have a call where there's like 10 to 15 people on. They'll go through and ask you, like at the beginning of the year, a lot of the chat was like everyone wants to get closer to God and increase their faith, and obviously there's monetary goals, but they listen and they write down and they're like, okay, cool, well, this is what you want to achieve here.
Wow.
And I think that's insane, because everyone wants to feel heard, they want to feel listened and taken into account as well. And I think just the fact that they're always on a mission, they're always working hard, it's very inspiring, because I mean, these people they don't have to be sitting there working all day long, working every single day and putting in a shift, but they're doing this because they've got a much bigger vision, and it makes you look at your own goals and everything, and it's like, okay, well, on the stress side of things though, there's a lot of stress and stuff that comes with making $1 million a month, not that I could even fathom the amount of stress and all the pain and everything that they've gone through, but like to have that and to keep a calm, stoic outlook on the world is it's insane. It's something that I really look up to that. It's amazing.
How does their support structure look? Like, is it more just them supporting each other? Because obviously, like, their wife or their family or close friends probably don't know the stress that they go through on that level, right? So is that sort of like them keeping each other accountable a lot? Like, how does their relationship together look?
Oh yeah, so
are they friends? Like, good friends?
Yeah, great. The thing with Charlie and Bo is that everything they've done has been a very conscious decision. They look at each person's character and what they believe, and then they'll make a hire. They'd rather hire for character, character over just you're skill. A good rep or whatever it is, Wow. So that means that the entire culture is super strong, and the support network, it feels like a family, it feels like a team. Everyone can reach out anytime. It's not like silo management. The whole team is together. We've got a common goal. We've got common principles. There's 10 things that we abide by. It's like moving fast and client worship, having the best product on the market all the time. There's quite a few others, but like that's what makes the entire thing so worth it. Now on their own support structures, they're very close with their family and they've got their own thing. But that's how I kind of envision it.
Amazing. Yeah, I mean, looking at great leadership, right? Like, it's people that I love when you mention it. It's people that almost it's not shining from the back. Yo, do this, do that, pushing you almost to a goal. It's pulling you along. It's like, okay, you coming for the ride or not, right? How do they go about like sort of imbuing that into the people with I don't know if even that's a word, but like embedding that into the people, right? Like, how do they take their vision and sort of make that feel like it's everyone's end goal? Well, I mean, obviously if you're working there, like, that is probably going to be your end goal. How do they do that?
Well, obviously the only true thing that people are compelled and inspired to do, if that's not the best English, but like you only really inspire people through their incentives. What do I get out of this? So what Charlie and Bo have done is they've created the best product on the market by 100,000 yards. They've got all the acquisition systems. They're getting you on calls with these people who are keen to get involved and join EasyGrow as well. And I mean, at the end of the day, your own incentives to work are to increase your own livelihood and make the best life for yourself as possible. So it becomes very easy. Like, here's the best opportunity of your life. Take it or leave it. But we are on a mission. One thing, like we always say within the company, is to the north. Because we just want to absolutely go forward. There's no time to be slacking, wasting your days away for...
Give it horns, man.
Yeah, give it horns. Yeah.
Also, I see some people, they get handed this amazing opportunity on a silver platter, but they're still, they're like, you see that a lot probably.
It does my head in, because if I didn't go and take on every opportunity to the best of my ability that I've been given, then I'd have absolutely nothing. I'd be a plumber in Durban, like achieving nothing. But just because when people give you opportunities, it's your job, it's your obligation to make them proud. Take that opportunity and run with it. You know what I mean? I absolutely abhor when people just waste their opportunities. They want to be given everything on a silver platter.
No, it doesn't work like that.
It does not work like that, bro. Like, people will even come and talk to me and ask, like, what should I do here? But all they're really asking for is, can you give me something on a silver platter? Because that's all they've ever been taught.
Also, when I started out, obviously I had the opportunity of working with Iman Gadzi as well. It's crazy, like, you obviously worked with Charlie, I did with Iman. It was like 10 months worth of work, and I put my absolute all into it for like, I would say 8 months, right? Because then I knew, okay, this is not going to last forever, right? And then after those 2 months, obviously, I left, or not, I didn't leave, but like they said, okay, it's done now, whatever. So I knew I had to start my own thing. So I took all that, most of the money. I had a pretty nice 21st birthday as well. I couldn't remember I took some of that money.
He took all the money and he just rented a yacht for a weekend. Something like that.
Yeah, I spent like my entire month's salary. I'm like, I don't even care. My mom is like, oh, you should be financially responsible.
Mama,
like,
abundance.
Yeah, basically. I don't regret that at all. I spent the other money on like buying mentorship and courses and stuff. And then start my own agency, because I knew this is like, I don't want to end here. And then a lot of the people got dropped and then they got nothing. They spent all that money on like maybe shoes and stupid stuff, and then they left with absolutely nothing.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. Like, I've had some good mates who've gotten insane opportunities, and it just goes down because they'd rather get drunk, maybe smoke some Zol, and do nothing with their day instead. Where you have to just completely shut everything off if you've got a life-changing opportunity and see it through. That's something I believe is just see it through.
I think people get complacent too quickly.
Yeah.
That's it. Like they get the $500 or $1,000 from their first online paycheck, and they're like, oh, we're good,
Yeah.
They work maybe 2 hours a day, less than 8 hours a day in the 9 to 5. So then they spend all the rest of the time doing nothing.
Yeah, it's like that meme Jokes made, where it was like when you lost the 9 to 5 and work 24/7 with your own agency.
I mean, the biggest success killer is complacency, right? Comfort. Comfort is probably a better word. It's a lack of ambition. Like, how do you go about cultivating that desire to be better, right?
Or do you think
ambition?
Do you think it's built in some people, or can you cultivate it?
I'm a pre-famous a bit better. I am also getting married next year, and soon I want to get some kids. So like, it's funny, but like, I'm already thinking a little bit about like, how the fuck am I going to do this with my life here, right? Like, this guy's going to be the best at everything, right? Like, he's going to...
Creatine in the milk.
Yeah, creatine in the milk. So obviously I'm thinking, right, like the best way to do that is like, where you probably mimic whatever your father did in your immediate environment, and probably the people you get exposed by. But how would you go about like embedding ambition in your immediate environment or in yourself?
So Andrew Carnegie said that the best thing is for a child to be born into poverty. That'll give you all the ambition you need.
Fuck, so I need to be broke. I need to get broke.
No,
I need to get broke.
No, actually, stop all this. Close down the podcast. Get broke. No, but that is the best thing I ever heard, because that's what gave me all the ambition I ever needed. But I've also tried talking a lot of my friends into being ambitious, and it does not work.
It does not work.
I don't understand. Like, I'll say, like, bro, you don't have much time, everything's melting in front of you, the dollar's crashing, the rand's done, you need a job, like yeah, you know,
That's going to be a crazy intro segment, bro. The dollar's crashing, the rand is crashing.
it's all done and you need to get months today, but still it's rather like kick the feet up, girlfriend, maybe some.
That's why I said the procrastination, like maybe from the outside looking in, it looks okay, he's chilling, you know, doesn't like chilling, but deep down he's like, oh fuck,
I'm screwed.
He knows it's brewing a little bit.
Procrastination is terrible. It is terrible.
It's worse than just
doing
taking the action.
Exactly.
No,
I think because, I mean, bro, and it's always like this, like you have a needle on your shoulder, bro, or what, a chip on your shoulder, like a needle. You have a needle on your shoulder. All these guys do, right? Like
chips on shoulders with chips in pockets.
Yeah, chips in pockets. But it is so, right? Like even when I started, like I didn't really, because I mean I had a wonderful upbringing. You know, my father, my mother, amazing. Like we weren't like crazy rich, but like definitely above like average for sure. Yeah. And so I mean, I didn't really have the need to go out and try and be this business guy, right? But I remember very like it was yesterday. You know, when I was like pretty young, like grade 7 or something, I basically just in a public setting got embarrassed a bit. You know, it was more like on a physical level, and I devoted myself for like 2 years to improve that domain of my life, to not be embarrassed again in public. And then after succeeding in that and now actually being pretty confident in that domain of my life, I realized, wow, through hard work and discipline and just cultivating some fucking, you know, just action taking or whatever, I could improve things in my life and I could feel less shy or less insecure or whatever. And I almost felt or got an escape from or through hard work and discipline and doing things that were difficult. And it was through that, taking action, and it was much easier for me to take the action. I was much more willing to do so than it was for me to sit in me being ashamed of myself. I couldn't sit with the fact that I was being made fun of in a public setting. It was terrible for me. Now, I don't know, everything after that I could link to that moment, and it was more discipline and cultivating his mindset. I started listening to motivational speeches or whatever, the cliche thing.
It's a compounding there.
But why I felt ashamed and why my pride was led me down to taking action rather than just being chilled with it, I don't know why that was.
Shame.
It was ego.
And
I don't know why.
That shame, I never want this.
What I'm trying to say is, I don't know why I wanted to not feel like that again. You know, because I think a lot of people want to, but then they don't really care. They would rather not take action. I don't know why my pride, you know, came into the place, be like, no, fuck this. You'll never be like this again.
That's healthy, bro.
Yeah,
I also think so.
I've got mates who are so comfortable being useless to the world, like happy as Larry. Like, no, it's horrible to say, and it's even more horrible to be. Like, how
doubling down.
Like, yeah, bro. If you want to just, like, that's why I say you can't talk people into being motivated. But the only thing that got you motivated was that you were ashamed of yourself.
Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming.
No, that's exactly what it is, right?
I never want to feel like this again.
Yeah.
And that's what also surrounding yourself with these high level people does. You're like, I'm doing nothing wrong.
Yeah, it's like, oh shit.
I am under. I'm just not.
I'm not it.
I'm trying to transition.
That's fine, bro. Like,
because I mean, I think it's difficult, right? Because what takes you from one point to another doesn't necessarily mean it's going to take you to the next level, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm transitioning into more reflecting what I believe my worth already is, compared to me almost needing through conditions to achieve and prove to myself that I am worthy. You know, I almost feel like by extension, and because I'm made in the Lord's image, so by extension I am worthy. I just need to reflect that worth. Therefore, I take action and I become successful in that.
Now that I think about it, I think it's both. Because like you need to, because let's say you sin and you don't feel shame.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Yeah. So there is some form of conditions that you have to be. So I agree with that.
I think it's both. It's running away from the cat and then also smelling the cheese.
And then also smelling the cheese.
It's like,
maybe explain that first.
Some people don't have either.
Yeah.
They're ashamed and they don't even care.
And they don't even have the focus. They're not even in the fucking tunnel.
Smoke Zol and they don't care and they're doing nothing and they're broke and they're like no shame and also they have no ambition.
Yeah.
That's the worst.
Yeah.
I think, if you can have both, it's better.
Yeah, definitely. If you got neither, it's so late for you. It's so late.
Cooked.
Because before we continue, it's a very good point, because I'm essentially running towards heaven, running away from hell. You know, and I'm in the focus area of essentially, the principles of the Bible, right? All the commandments. Not that you need to abide by the commandments, or maybe you should, I guess, but like it's not like a set in stone thing. But that's very true. Like the reason why I want to have the desire to reflect these things in the first place is because I don't want to be dishonorable and I don't want to be weak, So there is some form of conditions that I feel like I haven't met that leads me to taking action. So that is true. You need both.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one thing that this amazing place called Quest taught me is the value of integrity as well. Integrity is going to lead you to the best place in life, because if you can be the same with all men, doesn't matter who it is, the king or the peasant,
the janitor,
you're the same person, you show respect. Like at the end of the day, people don't believe that they're being watched. I believe I'm being watched all the time by God, and I'll be judged for what I do. Not in the
sometimes you don't want to.
Yeah,
you don't want to be.
You don't want to know you're being watched.
No, exactly. Like
that's exactly why
keep that top of mind. That is
that's exactly why you do it.
No, exactly, and it's a hard thing to live that way. But at the end of the day, it's hard to be a Christian nowadays. Because it's picking up your cross and you walk. That'll just set you safe, because if you can base your entire life on integrity and honesty and truth, then who can fault you? If you're the same with everyone, you don't go around trying to sneakily do things. And I used to do that when I was a kid, because I had super strict parents, so I'd kind of like try and connive, and I was a chameleon. And that's the last thing you want to be.
The chameleon.
I was a chameleon, and thankfully through that kind of process, I learned who I was and who I want to be as well. That was a game changer, bro.
So, speaking about everything we're doing right now, whatever, like looking forward, you already asked us what's our goal, 3 to 5 years from now. What is Kiko doing, in the next couple of years, if you have something
kids,
planned?
baby mama.
Yeah, baby mama.
Someone's daughter's going to start acting right and everything's going to change.
Afrikaans girly, right?
Yeah, bro.
You just need the Afrikaans.
Afrikaans and blonde and under 21?
Come here. No, it's something that you think about every single day, like where we're going, what is the mission and the goal here. At the end of the day, for me, it's just to be able to give opportunities that I was given to people who are deserving of it. So I'm going to work hard every single day to make sure that's a reality. And the beautiful thing is I've got a vehicle that I can work in at the moment, and that is going to achieve everything for me. So it's very much like over the next few years is head down, keep working hard and making the right moves and decisions, and that's all going to play out in the long run. But if I can, honestly, if I'm thinking like further ahead now, I absolutely love this country, South Africa. I think there's so much amazing stuff going on in this country, but also so much bad. So in my eyes, at the end of the day, if I can prop up the good that's going on in this country, create more of it, and get rid of the bad in this country, I'll be so chuffed. Because I think there's a huge future.
You can invest in our fitness center, bro. We'll
we
get you a part of our...
Let's do it.
That's the main mission statement for us, right? That is exactly what it is. There's so many people that feel exactly like you, bro.
Yeah.
Especially people that have traveled a bit, they've seen the world a little bit, that had the privilege to go and do things, right?
You don't know what you have till it's gone.
Absolutely.
Damn.
I'm so grateful for everywhere that I've traveled, because it just makes you appreciate home so much. And at the moment, like there's no two ways about it. What's happening to this country is actually quite sad. And just to wake up in such a beautiful place, I want that to be the case for my kids in the future, who I'm going to have plenty of.
You're the 21-year-old stressing right now.
But I agree, man. And I think what you mentioned previously was a good point. I would love to get Rob Ashraf on. So if Rob, if you're hearing this, we'd love to get you on.
Well, I'm telling you, with Founders Acquisition, this might be like a very ambitious, crazy goal, but it's to, obviously the US is the top country when it comes to GDP, right? Like that's a big focus or dream is where we are helping all these people in South Africa start online businesses and not take But
Yeah,
or
bring-
wealth
bring
creation,
dollars back.
bring dollars in South Africa. That will prop up the entire economy.
I mean, I spoke
That's
with-
one of the goals, like to literally help
Yeah.
South African economy grow.
and especially the young people, right? And
That is the
because,
future.
because that's
They
what
are
we're
the
doing.
future.
And the main thing is the main reason why people are moving out of the US or going to London or Dubai or whatever, it's like for work, right? It's
Opportunity.
Moving
to
out of
make
South
for
Africa, you mean?
opportunity to earn in dollar. That's why. I don't really think anybody wants to leave the country. Maybe out of the fact that it might be maybe dangerous in some places, but then once again, if you made enough money, look at this. Does this look unsafe to you? This is the most beautiful place in the world. If you make enough money in South Africa, this is heaven. This is the best place in the world.
Best state in the world.
And it's literally voted the best city in the world, Cape Town, Cape Town specifically. But and so if we can get people if we can now give them a method to bring dollars and to earn dollars via staying in Cape Town, will change South Africa.
Absolutely.
And so that's the main push for this. But anyone in this space, right? Like we're friends with a lot of people in other business models as well, like Liam, like James, like all these guys making good money, doing good work. And it's amazing to see people take action, right? Like yourself as well. And that's why we do this, right? Having conversations with you guys and trying to extract what give that to the people on the other side of the camera and to build something nice in South Africa.
Hopefully they can take something away from
Yeah,
that. I mean,
yeah.
like we were chatting about this just before we started the podcast, but 62% of the youth in South Africa are unemployed. So you can't be thinking to your nose length. You need to think further than your nose and make a plan, because nobody, I can guarantee you in this country, is going to come and just hand you something on a silver platter, a top-notch job. Like, no one cares about you. That's one thing I really want to make clear. It's a tough thing to say, but
Yeah, you need to care for yourself, bro.
Yeah.
You need to.
No one wakes up in the morning and is like, this under guy, I want to buy him a Ferrari.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you have to do that for yourself if you want that, obviously.
And we actually living in a time now where we could go deep off into this, but this country is being turned into like a communist socialist place where they'd rather have everyone poor and useless and suffering just so that everyone's equal. And what I think we want to push for, and the reason why you guys want to get Rob on and stuff, is to turn this place into a capitalist free market, work hard, achieve everything that you deserve, that kind of culture.
I mean, no country excels.
No, that does not work in the long term.
There is none. So, I mean, that's definitely what we're gonna try and do. So we'll see what we can make happen with Rob.
Yeah, I mean, if you even look back 2 years, you would not think, your life. When I go on Instagram sometimes, I see like the story memories, like 1 year ago, 2 years ago. You look at that photo and you can kind of remember how you thought, your patterns. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but I can see a photo and I remember my thinking. My mindset at that time. I'm like, I'm a completely different person.
Oh yeah.
Every year it's just changing. So and also the environments change, the traveling and stuff like that. It broadens your perspective so much on what is possible. So if you can just you change a lot, and especially with what we're doing, like at the moment it doesn't seem like much or whatever, but you really don't know how big something can get. I mean, people always say that.
I mean, we can do this again. So when we had the first episode with Kiko, we said, we want to do this, and that. It's literally a year later. We're still doing this thing, and we'll still do this thing next year. So when you jump back on, okay, because there will be another episode, not sure when. But the main goal for this thing is to stay consistent, and I want us as proof, all three of us, to show and be a testimony that it's possible if you just stay consistent, bro. We're not special, right? Like, I think Kiko is a cool guy and everything, but just like me and Andre, we normal
nothing
folks,
special.
Like if you saw him in a sauna, you would not think he's working with Charlie Morgan, bro. And that's amazing thing, right? It goes to show.
Creating a picture for a 21-year-old.
Or like in the Spur or something, Mug and Bean. Like, you would not think like, holy shit, this guy is, and that just goes to show, like, we're normal guys, right? And you have this idea and you're just willing to sacrifice everything for it, right? And then later down the line you realize, okay, some things you're not willing to sacrifice for. But I think there's beauty in taking action and being consistent, and that's why I wanted to get you on, bro. It's just because you embody that. So I thank you for being on the pod. I don't know if you guys want to touch on anything else.
I think we did good.
I think we've absolutely crushed everything.
We did it justice. And yeah, bro, it was a pleasure.
It's an honor and a privilege. Thank you
man.
to you
Thank you
again.
so much.
I think that's episode 31 now,
Yeah.
and most never get past episode 10. So to the north.
Let's
To
do
the
it.
Get
north.
it, boys.
I love it. All these socials will be in the description.
Yeah, let's
Thanks,
get
guys.
it. Thanks, boys.
Yo,
That was sick.
insane.